Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Truth, where today we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, formerly known as formerly known as the Los Angeles Raiders, I believe. Um, Getting into it, so just kind of hopping in, did want to mix up the style a little bit. One, to stay fresh, and two, to try something different to see how it goes, see what happens. Um, Starting out, we're actually going to start with the mock draft. Um, So at this very moment, the Raiders have enough picks to take care of all of their starting needs and two backups. Now, they do have some cap. They're going to resign some guys. Stuff is going to happen. Stuff's going to change. We'll talk about that later. But right now, here's kind of how the draft fell, and kind of the direction I went. With the first overall pick for the Raiders, I chose new defensive tackle of Illinois. Look, I mean, this is a guy I've talked about multiple times before. I feel like everyone's talked about this guy. He's a guy who can rush on the inside, who can go against the pass, stop the run. He's gonna get his hands up. He can force some fumbles, fall on some balls. Um, Look, um, he's just a great guy. He's big. He's strong. He can do one-on-ones. Like, this is a guy you want on your team. With the second pick, I went TJ Tampa, cornerback out of Iowa State. This is a guy who kind of went a little under the radar right now. He's close to 200. Right now, he's projected to run a low 4.4. Sorry, I'm tired. Preseason, he was getting Big 12 honors. So, there's a lot going into this guy. Didn't have a lot of interceptions, but, stats or whatever. He's really physical with his coverage, which is really nice to have, and can run zone as well. So that's that. He's nice versatility in his back pocket. He likes to challenge receivers. He likes to be very physical and go up against the contested point. Patient, which is something nice you like to see with corners when they're young, is the patience with the footwork and staying with the receiver on the hip. He is pretty athletic, though. Not to be kind of nagging on him. He's pretty athletic. Uh, Sometimes though, he's he turns he turns his hips too quick, which can kind of put him out leverage him on routes. Sometimes he guesses a little bit too, and poor angles in the run game. But I mean, with experience and time, this guy will develop into somewhat nice to have. The With the next pick, I went Kieran, offensive tackle LVO. I'm sorry, but I'm not pronouncing that last name. Look, this is a guy who effort wise is there. He just needs to work on his craft. Super athletic, super big, 6'5", 321. This is your Trevor Penning, basically. Super talented, has lots to look forward to, but hasn't put it together. And if he does, he's a franchise tackle. Like, that's there you go. Like, that's really it. Did have surgery, so that's something to look out for. But I mean, this guy could be something to look forward to, as maybe you do draft him as a backup. But I mean, in normal drafts, I'm not talking about, because it's still early. Teams haven't really signed players and stuff and gone through free agency. But I mean, like, this is a guy who you can work on if you're willing to work through the growing pains. This is a guy who could very well pay off really well for you. Um, the pick after that, I went Jalen Wright, running back out of Tennessee. This is one they need a starting running back, and there's a guy who can kind of fill that role. He's not a terrible running back. He's not crazy. He's not Bijan Robinson, but he's still really good. Brandon Coleman, I think this is a guy I've talked about, offensive guard out of TCU, 6'4", 320, big guy, powerful blocker, projected to be a really good guard, then a left tackle or a blindside tackle. Big, strong guy, is a little bit stiff, so that's kind of why you want to move him to guard. Charles Turner, I believe another guy I've talked on this channel, offensive center out of LSU, one of the better centers looking at it from the Senior Bowl. So that's why maybe he's risen on some boards. But he also fills in that spot for the Raiders. Um, Sione Vaki, which is it's going to be a backup safety for them. Safety out of Utah. This guy's going to provide depth. And then Omar Spites, linebacker of LSU. Um, Kind of a very quiet guy, but a very technical guy. Look, he plays hard nosed football. I mean, he'll go destroy a block and make a tackle, but he'll also go drop back into coverage. He's one of your more balanced linebackers. He just doesn't have the eye popping stats that guys like to see, or eye popping plays that guys like to see to really bump you up. Plus, he's a linebacker, so it's also going to bring him down. But I mean, look, this is a guy who, like with a couple other players, you can draft as depth and might shock you with how well they play. And that was their pre free agency mock draft. So now that that's over, we're gonna get into talking about their situation. The Raiders have, I'd say, roughly about $48 million. Exactly, they have 47,863,338. That's a lot of cap, and if you play your cards right, you can actually sign a lot of players. I kind of do expect the one position to get reset, meaning that like someone's gonna be top paid at their position this offseason. I would not be surprised for a really touted position. Yeah, well, I'm talking. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Like I know there are rumors about Justin Jefferson wanting to reset the receiving market, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen, depending on what the Vikings do. But I am expecting someone to reset a positional market. But yeah, no, that's a lot of cap to play with. But also getting before we try and jump the gun, let's talk about how they did throughout the season and last season. So last season, the Raiders went 6-11. That's nothing crazy, but they did show improvement in the season after, going 8-9. Now they did also hire a new GM this offseason. So that is some news. We're really gonna kind of see like how's this GM, how's this team, how's this organization like to attack the offseason, and how they're gonna build, what they're gonna build with. It's gonna be something off the monitor for a while, but it's gonna be really interesting to see. Getting into the market values, the calculated market values. If I can get the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. There are two players right now, Kevin Dotson and Witherspoon, cornerback cornerback for the Raiders. Oh wait, oops, wrong one. Apologies. I was like Kevin Dotson. That makes sense. There we go. Colton Miller, Josh Jacobs, and Marcus Epps. These are the guys I was looking for. I was so confused. I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. Left tackle, Colton Miller. He's probably going to be a guy back. Jacobs is a guy I have no idea. Marcus Epps, maybe. That's a good possibility that Epps is back, but I could also see them kind of going through the draft and kind of trying to approach that one. And kind of, hey, play it, trust the depth they have and kind of build throughout. But they can re-sign everybody. It would be a kind of a tight cap hit, but it is possible. Just quickly pulling up my calculator so we can crunch the numbers really quickly. But like I said before, they have roughly $48 million. So let's do the most likely option first, which is Colton Miller. So Colton Miller is projected right now. His market projection is $19,720,359, which is going to put the Raiders at about $28 million in cap. But you take care of your left tackle position, which is, I'd say, fairly important. You kind of do need that position. Next, more likely one would be Marcus Epps, free safety. That's one I could probably see about 7.5 million, which would be giving you roughly around 20.5 million to get that safety depth and everything filled out. Oops. 2650, 216. That takes care of your depth wise. And then you do have enough cap if you really want to, which I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to them um, picking Josh Jacobs' contract up. I know it's kind of, hey, it's a running back. People don't like to do that, but Josh Jacobs is a very talented back. I do think they should run more of a back by committee because that's what helps keep your running back longevity. The one kind of outlier here is the one outlier here is sorry, Christian McCaffrey. He's kind of the outlier here that kind of plays with the fiddle of everything. But to get into it, Josh Jacobs is going to cost you around $10.5 million. So that's going to give you basically right under $10 million, officially $9,969,922 to play with after the fact, if you were able to re-sign those guys. But you do take care of a couple key positions that are really impactful for the Raiders. Um, of course, like I'm not saying they can't resign other positions. I'm just saying they're like if you were to do that, you kind of it really does help out your draft because now you change up things. Like let's say you did go Newton and TJ Tampa. Now it's kind of like well, you can go center or you can go Carter center in the third round, and it kind of helps you out. You feel more comfortable with that happening. Going back to the Raiders. This is the official free agency mock draft that I have for them. So getting into it, we'll see how things kind of fall. And of course, Joe Alt falls. Of course. That's him. And JC Lamp and Talisa Fuaga. I'll tell you, every time I do a mock draft without free agency, the teams that need tackles always fall on the free agency one. I just don't get it. Look, Newton, I mean, this is kind of, hey, he's in our laps. Let's take him. That's kind of a no-brainer for me, I feel like. He's a great defensive tackle. He's going to make really big impacts. And then Camille Lassner, actually cornerback out of Georgia, isn't the biggest or the most athletic. Still athletic, but he's a great zone defender. And he can maintain leverage. I think he could be really good. And I think he could also probably run man too. I'm not being surprised. He's 6', 185, so he does need to put a little bit more muscle on his frame, but he wouldn't be bad. That also takes care of your cornerback spot. And kind of seeing how everything has fallen, checking back at it. Could go. Actually, I can just pull this up right here. Could go guard, which you could get Dominic Pooney, or you could see if Brandon Coleman falls to you. You could go center and go Tanner. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher that last name. 6'4", 306, or you could go Brack Slimmer, offensive guard of offensive center out of Limmer. Out of Arkansas. I think I will go center, just because that's a little bit more of you really want to secure that before, if anything, before guard. And if you do like this happen, you get Brandon Coleman. Well, there you go. That also takes care of that. I'll reject that. Go back to all. So now things get a little kind of flexible. You could go a bunch of different places, but Tyler Davis is a nice option for defense tackle. Picking up another one, which I think I will do to fill out that backup defensive tackle spot. Kind of seeing how the draft falls. Trying to be flexible. Okay. Let's see. Um, don't need tight end. Don't need defensive tackle. Not really gonna go cornerback right now or quarterback right now, just because we'll see what happens. Charles Turner to be a backup would be nice at center. And then this is the second to last pick. Running back safety. Backup safety, quarterback, no edge. Um, Jackson Mitchell out of UConn wouldn't be a bad pick, 6'2", 225 to fill out that linebacking role. And then let's see. Did you go through? I think I went through. I'll see what I through. Kind of filling out, wrapping up this draft. Nothing crazy here. Could go Joshua of UTSA, 6'2", 182. Kind of a big guy who, if you put a little bit more weight, can win contested balls. I wouldn't be opposed to that. That or could go Boston College's offensive guard. That's also an option. Is there anything else I'd really go? Maybe Dylan out of NC State. Kingsley out of Florida. I think I will go Joshua Cephas out of UTSA. That's a guy some people are high on to kind of fall higher in the draft. This is my free agency mock draft. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know. Do y'all agree? Just recapping, they do have roughly around a tad bit under $10 million in cap. So let me know if y'all agree with this take. Do y'all think they'll resign those players? Do you think they're going to resign different players? Do you think they're going to get cheaper? Do you think they're going to be more expensive? Do you like the draft approach I did, or do you disagree and say, hey, no, I think they're for sure going this position in the first round? There's no doubt. Let me know. Also, let me know if you like the new approach I did to the video in general. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and I will talk to y'all next time.